Hello everyone, and welcome to my story. You don't know me yet, so I'll introduce myself. I am Colby, and this is the first of what I hope will be many videos that I intend to create. I am an actor and a storyteller, and so far I've been pursuing all of those in my life to varying degrees of success, but I hope to begin broadening my horizons by getting into video and content creation. So this is the very first of those. I don't expect it will be very good, but I hope the journey will lead me into greater places later. But that's in the future. For now, let's begin with what I intend to do. I am going to tell you a story to welcome you into my content. Today is the first day of October in 2021, and so, appropriately, I'm going to tell you a scary story. So, without further ado, let's begin. Long ago, in a very distant wood, there was a young village girl who was out amongst the trees and bushes, searching for food for her family. She was not very old, but she had seen all the hard work that her mother and father had done caring for her, and she wished to contribute. However, her youth had gotten the better of her, for she had wandered far into the woods. The trees were tall, and their shadows were long, and she had wandered for a very long time. The sun had begun to set. The golden light it was giving through the branches of the trees was getting dimmer. And before long, the little girl's heart beat quickly with fear and worry. She began to make her way along the path of the wood. She was searching for any sign of a recognizable landmark, something that she knew could lead her home. And thus, she was not paying attention to where she was stepping. All at once, she took a step on the side of the path, and she felt something grab her leg. She screeched in terror. She made to pull away, but the thing just held harder, its bony fingers grasping and hurting her ankle. She screamed louder. She jerked and pulled, and with a final heroic effort, she yanked her ankle away from the thing that held her, and she ran, screaming, crying, barely looking at where she was going. And eventually, just as the last light of the day wore away, she burst through the bushes and saw the welcome, warm light of her home. She ran into her room, crying, babbling. Her parents were distraught, for they had thought her lost forever. As they calmed her down and finally bade her to tell her story, she told them about the thing that grabbed her in the woods. They comforted her that night, held her in their arms, and eventually she was able to drift into a restless sleep. The next morning, they took her out into the path that she had followed, hunting for the thing that might have been grabbing their children. And as they found the place where she had had her harrowing journey, the parents saw only an old, gnarled root, twisted with age and sticking out of the ground. They laughed and warned their daughter about the many dangers of the wood and the things she should watch out for if wandering away, and how to find herself if she should lose her direction. The years went on, and the little girl grew up. Eventually, she had children of her own. She would look back on the memory of her harrowing childhood experience and laugh with the warm nostalgia that age gives you. She would tell her own children stories of the things that would grab them on the sides of forgotten old forest paths. hoping that that would discourage them from wandering into the woods themselves. And as the years grew on, the thing beneath the soil in the woods bided its time. It had failed once, but it knew that there were more children, and there would forever be lost ones in the wood. Thank you for listening to my story. May your fires be warm, may your meals be good, and may you have adventure on your path. Goodbye.